Hello, my name is Tonja.
And my name is Ida.
And my name is Kirsten. We have been visiting a place called Marcus Thranes house. This is a shelter that provides temporary housing for people with heavy substance abuse. They are located in the center of Oslo, and only Oslo citizens can use this opportunity. This is because each county is responsible for the citizens.
By looking at the values of Oslo County, we could see how Marcus Thranes house is part of fulfilling those values. The county values are wrapped around the idea where they want to adapt and adjust services to what their citizens want and need. They want to share knowledge, be visible and available. Another value of Oslo is engagement, where they want to engage, show interest and care for their citizens. They also value respect and wish to acknowledge the needs and feelings of others. We recognized a lot of these values at Marcus Thranes house. Even though they work with people that use heavy substances, which by law is illegal in Norway, they see the person behind the misuse. You actually have to use heavy substances to get in there, like heroin or amphetamine. They didn't have a set definition of what a heavy drug addict was, but if you only use during the weekends or only smoke, for example, marijuana, you didn't have a big enough problem and they wouldn't let you stay there. Part of the reason why that is because this place houses the most heavy drug addicts from the streets of Oslo. So if you don't have a big problem before you get there, your problems will almost definitely expand by living there. Therefore, they would rather recommend you to other places that provide more help than Marcus Thranes does.
Yeah, they are not very strict at Marcus Thranes. The clients are allowed to do drugs in the room and are even given clean needles and other equipment that they might need to do. This is because Marcus Thranes mostly work for harm reduction. They are not there to help the clients out of their misuse, but to provide them with shelter and food and to help keep their integrity and health as good as possible. They value and see the person behind the problem and want to help the person as much as they can, despite their misuse. They are not there to remove the problem, but to improve or maintain other aspects of the client's life.
Being a heavy addict and over 18 years old are the only criteria you have to fulfill to get a room. Then you can basically just knock on their door, but the shelter also gets a lot of referrals from other social services. The shelter has 37 rooms and houses men, women and couples. When they get there, they go through a short intake process before they are assigned a room, and then they basically live on their own. But the staff work with them on a regular basis, and together they develop an individual plan for each and every one. Because each client needs to have some goals, both short-term and long-term, and that because they can only stay there for a year, that's the max, and so the plan usually have to contain some goals for what they want to do and what their plan is for when that year is over. And the shelter has zero tolerance for violence and threats, but drugs are okay. So both the county and the police knows what is happening there, but they don't do anything about it. And this tells us a lot about the social or the justice system and how that works in Norway. It probably has something to do with resources, but we like to think that they also see drug misuse as a separate problem from the person who uses it, and that they want to help the person as best as they can. Thank you.